See? No. I think I got one. March. I need boycott. Justice is like freedom. Oh, I saw this. Is this a computer? A person who goes from place to place in search of work together for better pay and food. She just said this for a person who goes from place to place in search of work. This one is as a way after receiving
Think you're done then? You matched all of them?
Wait, are we missing some?
There should be a word for every single one, right? So for this lesson, we're gonna do a social studies lesson. Usually we do science right now, right? Yeah. And we did social studies at the beginning of the year. We're gonna go back to it at the end of the year. But today we're gonna do a social studies on Cesar Chavez, since we've been talking about it, and we get Monday off, right? So I think it's only fair that we celebrate him by talking about his life, right? We're talking about it, and we're gonna do another assignment for this, okay? So we're gonna try one strategy that we've been doing that you did in the beginning of the year when you work with a partner, but maybe you haven't done it in a while. So I want you to do it as orderly as possible, okay? I want you to stand up. Stand up. We don't be talking about it, okay? Hands up. One hand up. Okay, one hand. Make eye contact with somebody. Make sure they're looking right at you. Make eye contact. Okay. Now go to that partner and pair up.
Remember that, boys and girls? Hand up, stand up, hand up, pair up.
Okay. That's gonna be me and my parallel here. So we're gonna model it for you. Are we all ready? All right, everybody look up here. So what you're gonna be talking about with your partner is you're gonna be talking about Cesar Chavez and what you know about him. And there's a lot of things that we know about. There's a street name for it in East LA. You know, there's a lot of things. There's all the things we learned today. I'm gonna show you how me and Alfredo are gonna do it, okay? Which I want you to model. I'm gonna model it for you. Ready? You ready, girls back there? Okay, Alfredo. Can you tell me anything you know about Alfredo? I mean about Cesar Chavez? About Cesar Chavez? He says Cesar Chavez is a hero. Okay, so he told me that, and then what I can do is I can clarify, David, you ready? But I can clarify what he said, so I can say, I heard you say that Cesar Chavez is strong, right? Strong-willed because he didn't eat for 25 days, right? Or he fasted. So you see how we had that conversation, how he said he made a statement, and then I clarified, I repeated to him, and now I'm gonna make a statement, and hopefully he can repeat, because then I know he's listening to me. Alfredo, I know that Cesar Chavez was a leader of farm workers, right? He was a leader of farm workers, and he helped them unionize, protest, and get rights. And you would say, I heard you say.
I heard you say that Cesar Chavez is a leader because he was a farm worker and
He led other farm workers to protest. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we try that? Okay, I'm gonna give you, Giovanni.
You said
Oh, I said it in English, I know. Sorry. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna practice. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to have a discussion with your partner about who and what Cesar Chavez did. Okay, you can begin now. Me and Alfredo are gonna be walking around listening. He's my partner.
I learned about Cesar Chavez that he was a hero because he was brave because he did. I learned about Cesar Chavez. He was brave because he led a march, and even though people were like saying no, or else we do this, he still did it. Oh my God, you went so fast I couldn't remember. So what I heard that you said that Cesar Chavez was carrying because he wanted to make sure that the farmers had the right amount of money.
They worked for the company that made the grapes, and since the company wasn't treating them right, they told other people,
They let them
don't buy your
boycott.
grapes, don't give them money. They're not treating people right. Until they treat you right, then buy them.
They start to
And that kind of hurt them, right? Hurt the businesses because they're like,
What I know about Cesar Chavez is that he was peaceful because he didn't fight and question other people. He was like working as the king. He was non-violent. He led a march, and he was keep like forcing the other people to give them the right amount of money. He was keep forcing it until they agreed. Peaceful.
He was peaceful because he did not fight, he did not kill, but he let people, he started making people because they wanted the right amount of money. I know he was dedicated he wanted to study his own food because he just wanted to and then
okay, boys and girls, that was really great. Could I have two partners share out? Whoa, so many. Let's see, let's give the boys up here a clap. Go ahead, one.
I noticed that Cesar Chavez is brave because he led the farmers
The farm workers,
to
right?
a boycott.
Right, he led the farm workers to a boycott, right? But that made him kind of like a leader, right? And what made him brave was that a lot of people didn't want them to protest, and something bad could have happened to him, right? People could have maybe hurt him, or he wouldn't make money, he would have lost his job, right? And things like that. A lot of people would have lost their job. So not only Cesar Chavez was brave, but all the farm workers were brave for joining together to protest. This little girl's over here. So that made him a hero because he led a strike. Who else led strikes? Some of the teachers, right? And then there was a leader, right? There was this union leader, right? So it made him a hero. I agree because he did end up. We're gonna move on to. It did make him a hero because he changed society, right? He changed a lot of the way things are. So he actually accomplished what he set out for, right? Which was for like social justice, which means people to be treated equally. And so for some of the stories you guys read how farm workers weren't being treated, they were treated unequally, right? How were they treated? Unfairly. Unequally? How were they treated unfairly?
They're treated unfairly because people, even though the farmers are keep like working hard, the people give them like no money.
Yeah, low money, made them work long hours. Cindy, like mistreated them.
Well, since he was a friend to them, is that they only got to eat a little bit a minute and they had to start working. And they didn't
Yeah.
even get a lot of
So they didn't
fun.
get breaks. So a lot of the when you grow up and maybe you get a job, right? You're gonna want rights, right? You're not gonna want to work a bunch of hours and people to pay you a little bit of money and to mistreat you and to give you no breaks. That sounds kind of like being a slave, right? You would want to be compensated. That means paid well for your work. You would want to have like perks, right? You would want to be able to take time off, things like that, right? Take sick days off instead of them telling you, no, you're gonna work every day, every hour, and we're gonna give you cents on the dollar.
Leave it in.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so boys and girls, hands down. And David. Okay, so today we're gonna read this article together, and we're gonna add this article, and we're gonna watch a video on Cesar Chavez, and then we already read a book earlier, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna read this article, that's 2. We'll watch a video, that's 3. And then the article we read in the beginning of the year, remember in your book?
Yeah.
That's 4 resources, right? So 4 things we're gonna get information from. And we're gonna use this information to make a timeline. Anybody ever heard of a timeline?
No.
Or what a timeline is? Cindy?
A timeline is dates. A timeline is dates what happened in that day.
Okay. You do use dates, right? You record time, but what does a timeline look like?
A
Derek?
timeline is like almost like a number line.
Almost like a number line, good
Almost,
job.
but like they're just like pictures sometimes.
Right?
And on like the little lines, there's ears.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna look like this, right? So it's gonna look like this, and then at the end we're gonna have arrows, right? Our left is gonna be the the beginning, the past, and the one moving forward is gonna be the present and the future, right? And in between here we're gonna put dates. And what kind of dates are we gonna put? What were we talking about? So we're gonna put dates in there about his life, right? So we're gonna begin with 1, right? What would be the first dot?
January.
Not the date, but what information are we gonna put there? What would be like the beginning? There?
The beginning would be like he had like a when he was little he had a farm and then
Okay, let's
he
go
lost
back.
it- he lost his
Let's go
farm.
back to the very beginning. How does people's life start when you're
When you born?
when he was born, right? So our first day is gonna be when he was born. So I'm gonna write this for now, just to show you. And then the last date, what should be the last date? David? 2019 should be today, right? And what's going on today? What are we doing for him? We're celebrating him. We're talking about him, right? I thought somebody was gonna say, oh, when he passed away, because he did pass away, sadly. So somewhere in between here, we're gonna talk about all the things he did. We're gonna explore all the different big parts of his life, and we're gonna understand more how he changed. What does timelines help us do? Why would we use that as a strategy?
Remember when he was born and what happened?
Yeah, so to mark important dates, right? Susana?
Remember like his like when he did some action?
Yeah, so we can remember important dates of when he did certain actions, right? And that way we can study his life, right? Kind of like a biography. We can learn about all the different things he did in his life. And we can learn about the past and the present. And that's how history works. That's how we study. We look to the past and we use important dates. Like when you look at your book, you see all these kinds of dates, right? Like when the country was founded, 1776. It just sounds like a random number. But that would be in the past, right? And then the future, 2020, you can predict what's gonna happen in the future. All kinds of important dates. What's an important date in your life? When you were born? Okay, what's an important date in your life? Your birthday? Okay, so when you were born, kind of the same things, right? What about when you graduated from first grade or kindergarten, right? And then, Susana?
When I graduated from college.
When you graduate from college, I like how you have a really positive sense of you in the future, right? And then maybe like when you cure world hunger, when you end world hunger, right? Or you cure like deadly disease, when you become a great scientist, right? That can be, so Cesar Chavez, we're gonna learn about his accomplishments, right? So, Cesar Chavez, one quick recap, all the things we know, right? He fought for social justice. That means he wanted people to be treated equally, right? How did he do that? He organized the workers, right? What workers? Farm workers, right? I put labor unions because labor means work, and union is a group. So work groups, right? The farm workers, and these farm workers, it's important. I was asking the girls over here, why don't we have a street called Cesar Chavez in East LA? Who lives in East LA? Son? Yeah, we do. And where's your culture from? Where's your family from? Your past?
Mexico.
Yeah, and we have also Noel, who comes from a different culture as well, but a lot of us here predominantly, we come from Mexico, right? And Cesar Chavez was Mexican American. That's why we have a street for him in East LA, where we live, right? So, this is the world, yeah. So, a lot of the farm workers, they came to work in California, they came from Central America, from South America, some even came from Europe, but the most was from here. Why do you think?
I think it was because it was closer to
Because it was closer, right? And also, in these countries, sadly, but it's true, they're kind of poor countries compared to the United States. So a lot of people come over here to work.
Wait, so in 1927, like when Cesar Chavez was born, and
Yeah.
the others, like the one that's like made the World Fair, they were when it was like 1927, like very the past. It was, the laws were unfair, but when
Yeah.
like you guys were born, like in 1996.
Well, I was born in 80, yeah. The laws changed, yeah. And the laws have changed even more since you were born. And I like the map. Okay. And here. And what I want you to know that a lot of this stuff happened was in Arizona where he was born, and here in California. California is very important. The farm workers work here because California, if you didn't know, it's a place where we grow a lot of the fruit for the whole country. Because we have the perfect conditions. We have a lot of sun and all of that. So that's a lot of wind. We have water. We have really good environments, right? Like how we were learning about our plants. We do have snow in the mountains, yeah, and that provides us water, right? So we have like the perfect environment for that. So we're gonna make that timeline, right? So paper monitors. Could you pass a piece of paper to students and Shaden, can you pass an article for every student? So we're gonna go through this article. I'm gonna read it to you for the first time. The piece of paper, what we're gonna do with the piece of paper is we're gonna write important dates on it. So we can start putting it in our timeline, right? Today? Yes. More specifically, today is March 28th. We're gonna find out. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. Okay. Everybody get a piece of paper? You like that? Okay. RSP? Okay, boys and girls, while the students are doing this RSP, I want everyone to go back to their desks so they can have all their writing tools. Go back to your desk. Let's try to get that done as quickly as possible. Let's see what table does this the most orderly. So everybody go back to your desks. Alright, I can see table 4, like always is ready. Even table over here, table 5 was really good. So, okay. So, boys and girls. Yes, Steven? The leftovers? Let me have them. Okay. Oh yeah, we'll do that after. Okay, boys and girls. So what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna use to make our timeline. We're gonna use a strip. You see it? Kind of like mine. It's easier, right? Than making it on a piece of paper. So this is what it's gonna look like. So I put the day he was born, 1927. Cesar Chavez is born. So here's my dot, and it means 1927. This is the year. 1927. Cesar Chavez is born. Cesar Chavez born. And then I put today on my map. We remember Cesar Chavez. There's gonna be important dates in there, like when he led the strike, when he passed away, stuff about his childhood. So this is our script that we're gonna use, okay? So let me read this article to you, which we're gonna get information from. Are we all ready? Okay. Susanna? You ready? Okay, follow along. Everyone put your finger on the first word. Yes, ma'am. Huh? Oh, I'm gonna try to read it. The second time you're gonna have opportunity to read again, okay? Activist and labor organizer Cesar Chavez. A synopsis. This is a synopsis. So that basically tells us what the whole thing's gonna be about. Cesar Chavez was born in 1927. He started the United Farm Workers Group. Chavez led marches and protests to get better conditions for workers. He died in 1993. Lawmaker Robert Kennedy called Chavez an American hero. Working in the fields as a child. Cesar Chavez was born in 1927. At age 11, his family lost their farm in Arizona. They became traveling farm workers. Chavez moved across California working in the fields. His life was not easy. Chavez joined the U.S. Navy in 1946. He returned from service in 1948 and married Helen Fabela. Together they settled in San Jose, California and had 8 children. San Jose, that's over there by San Francisco. Okay. Making life better for farm workers. At age 35, Chavez had his first regular job. He worked with a group fighting for fair treatment. He helped people sign up to vote and battle against discrimination. But Chavez's dream was to help farm workers. He had been poor. He understood how having no money had hurt farm workers for many years. In 1962, he started the National Farm Workers Association. The group later became the United Farm Workers of America. Chavez traveled to farm towns asking workers to join his group. Many people were afraid to join. Getting support for his mission, Chavez wanted to build a strong union. A union is a group of workers from a single trade. Together, they bargain for things like better pay and work hours. Chavez hoped his union will give power to farm workers. Chavez used peaceful ways of fighting. He made farm workers promise never to hurt other people. To win fights, Chavez used marches and protests. Many Americans supported him. They refused to buy grapes and other foods until the growers listened to the workers. This helped the workers win better pay and work hours. Chavez's top achievements. The UFW won huge victories for farm workers. It was the first successful farm workers union in American history. So in all of American history, and Cesar Chavez led it. The group helped farm workers win new rights. It gave them better lives thanks to Chavez. They had more breaks at work. The fields had clean drinking water. Death and legacy. Chavez died in his sleep in 1993. More than 50,000 people went to his funeral. Chavez liked to say, "Si se puede." Anyone ever heard that?
Yeah.
Si se puede? This means, yes, it can be done in Spanish. He inspired many people. His birthday is now a holiday in 10 states. Chavez helped regular people do amazing things. He helped people believe in themselves, even if they were poor. Yes, Shana?
It says first is
Yes?
just like Chavez died in 1993, and you said you were born in 1998.
No, I was born in 1987. I was born 5 years before. Well, he was born in 1927. So let's see how old he was. Let's see, 1927 when he died. Let's see, he was 1927. He was born. 1993 he died. So that's gonna be an important date, right? We're gonna put it somewhere like here. 1993 passed away, right? That's gonna be a date that we have here. So let's add it up. Okay, 3. That makes us 30. 60. He was 66 years old. want you to bring out your highlighters. Yes, Susana? I was, yeah. Are we all ready? Thumbs up when you're ready. Alright. Cindy, table 5, we ready? Okay. So what are we going to be looking for? Key details, important dates, right? And usually those are in numbers, right? Let me read the beginning. Here are some. Look at Cesar Chavez was born in
1927.
So we will highlight that year, right? And then the information, that's something we're going to put in our timeline. He started the United Farm Workers Group. I don't have to highlight that because it doesn't have a time, right? Chavez led marches and protests to get better conditions for workers. He died in 1990. Should I highlight that? He died in 1993. You think that's something important to put on my timeline?
Yeah.
Does it have a date?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So now, what I want you to do is I want you to go through it for 5 minutes with your partner and highlight other important dates that you find in the passage, okay? And Janelle, can you partner up with Alberto? And Margarita, can you work as a triad over there? Okay, so we're gonna go into our passage and find other important dates with our partner, okay? Yes? I mean, yeah, if you want to. Susana pointed out how it also says again he was born in 1927. That's another date. Yes, Susana? Remember to work with your partners. I'm gonna give table points to the tables that get this
Right?
get this right and get the most correct.
Do we have, if there's a like born
See?
1927,
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Exactly. Yeah, I like the dates. Yeah. But also, you're gonna need the information, right? Because you're gonna put it in your timeline. Yeah, do all the pages all the way to the end. Highlight all the all the dates in your highlight. All the information. His age? Yeah, but you have to do the math. If you're gonna highlight the age, you have to do the math. But we can talk about that after, okay? Yes. He's doing what? With herself, if she wants to work independently, I understand, but we should work with partners. But if you wanna, how are you doing? You understand it? We're looking for important dates, right? Is it? You're done? Wow. Yes, sir. Doing that well? Let's see, table 3 is already done. They get a point. I want to see the whole table done, okay? Now what I want you to do is, as a table together, I want you to list the dates in order. Okay? In order. So the first one is 1927, right? Oh, list all the dates, yeah. List all the dates. Well, just write all the dates down, okay? Yeah, 1927. Yeah, write all the dates down on your piece of paper. Who's ready? Susanna, you ready? I want you to list all these dates on your piece of paper. List them. Yes. Okay. You ready?
Wait, look.
Yeah. All of them. Okay. So like here's another date. 19. Oh, I understand. So then we can work together here. But I'm
write
No, you can just take the information.
Or do we have to put like that number line?
You can write, yeah, I want you to write it on. No, we're gonna do the number line. If you want to start already, we're gonna get this information and then we're gonna put the number line on the strip. Yeah, you can practice it, but we're gonna rewrite it, okay?
Paper.
Dates. I want dates, okay? Because we're not gonna know how to put the key details in order. You done? Okay, now I want you to write these dates. Yeah, you can put them in order or how you found them. We're gonna put them together in order in the timeline, whatever makes it easier, okay?
So this one, 1927, no one has born again. So let's do So you're going to write it again? Yeah. 1927, 1925, 1948. The 40th day.
Well, it's gonna be the same information. You can write it or not. When you're ready, you ready? Write them on your. Can you write the dates on your piece of paper? Write the dates you found, so you don't have to keep looking.
Oh, I'm right. Look.
Is Genesis your pen? Okay. Now I want you to write the dates that you found on your piece of paper, okay? So that you don't have to keep looking. And just write little information about these. Yeah, a little bit of information, just like 1993 born. You know? Not the whole sentence, just a little information. Done?
Wait, is there 1, 2, 3, 4?
That's Susana, that's why you have a partner. You're gonna write the dates down, all the dates that you see. So you have 1927, do you have 1993? 1993, yeah, right? Right, you have to write what happened on those dates. Yeah, so, born, right? Passed away. Joined the Navy. Study. How's everybody doing? Who still needs more time? Sí se puede. Okay. Boys and girls? Can anybody stop? Can anybody raise your hand and share a date? Susana? 1993. We put that one here, right? What do we write there?
Passed away.
He passed away. Anybody have another date? Derek? 1962. So where we're gonna put that? We're gonna put it past, or we're gonna put it in the middle here. This is 1993 and this is 1927. Where we're gonna put 19? Okay. What is it? What's the year?
1962.
What happened in that year?
He started the national.
What was the name of the group? What are the first letters of the group? NF.
W.
NFUW?
No, yeah.
National Farm Workers No way.
No, it's at the National College. UFW.
UFW? Yeah. UFW, right? Started the UFW, right? Okay. Another date. One more date. Jesse? 1948. Where am I going to put that? Am I going to put it after 62 or before? Before. 1948. What happened then?
He returned service.
He returned from the 5th in 1948.
So he returned from the army, right?
Yeah.
He returned. Yeah, he was in the army. See how we're learning all these things? Okay, boys and girls. Hold on. I know there's one more, but I can't write all of them, right? The point is for you to be able to do it on your own. Okay, so now boys and girls, I'm gonna pass out your strips. Alright? And you're gonna make, are you ready, Margarita?
Yes.
Jose? You ready? You're gonna make your own timeline. It's gonna look like this, right? And we're gonna put some of the dates that you found. And when you're done, raise your hand, okay? And make your own strip. Your timeline's gonna look like the small one, right? And like the big one? Yes. You don't have to put sentences. You can just put little information, like 2-3 words that tell me. You don't have to write incomplete sentences. Want the line? Yep. Want the line or no one? Yeah, use your pencil, okay? So what's the first thing you...
Which side?
Huh? Whichever side you want. What's the first thing you're gonna do, boys and girls? Jesse? No, you're not gonna put it in your head, Jose. Come on. Why are you being silly? Who can tell me what's the first thing we're gonna do? Cindy?
We're gonna draw the number line.
We're gonna draw the number line. Good job. What are we gonna do now after Susana?
We're gonna write the date.
We're gonna write the dates, right? Jesse, are we listening?
1927.
And what do we need? What's important about the number line? We're gonna have the arrows, and we already have this information, right? Yes, Genesis. One more thing. Yeah, you have to put information about the numbers, and you have to put the numbers in the right order, right? Don't be scared. Just do a line. What are you scared of? Yes. You don't have one? Oh, it's already started, right? Jose, can you share with her the dates you have? Okay. Don't worry about it. You're gonna have the number line. Right now we're making the number line. Start from that. Alright, here, you can use this tab if you want. Okay, show her how to make the number line. So we're gonna put all those dates that we highlighted in our passage, right? So look up here, boys and girls. Giovanni, your first date should look like this, right? The beginning of it should look like this, a dot, and it should say 1927, Cesar Chavez is born. Giovanni, you ready? Show me that you're ready by writing. It's not. Oh, Cesar Chavez in Spanish, Cesar Chavez in English, right? Get so used to speaking English all the time in school, then at home, speak Spanish. The nice thing about speaking both languages, yes. Huh? Yeah, you make a line across. Yeah, but you have to make your own. You don't need a marker, you need a pencil. Yeah. Well, here you're writing information. Here you're putting the point, the first one. Okay, you can do another one. So what was the second date we added? 1948, right? So I would go down a bit in my line, in my number line. Right here, and I would write 1948. And what happened then again?
We were.
Remember? Okay, we started here, right? 1927. And then I go to my right to 1948. And what happened here? returned from the army, right? That's what I would write. He returned from the army. Terrible pants. He returned from army. See, you don't have to write complete sentences. You can just write little information.
Joined the USA Navy in 1940.
You see, that's a date no one gave me. He joined it. He joined it in 1946. So we go backwards, right?
I was gonna say that.
So we go here, right next to it, because 2 years are really close. So in 1946, Alfredo, what happened?
In 1946, he joined the U.S. Navy.
He joined the Navy, right?
National Army.
He joined the Navy, and then what happened in 1948 again?
1948.
He returned from the Army, right? So he was in the Army for how many years?
2
Two. Genesis, you're never going to get done. Just do the line straight. It doesn't matter if it's crooked. It's not a beauty contest. Huh?
1948.
Yes, that's what I wrote, 1948.
It doesn't say.
It does say 1948.
In the bottom.
He returned from service in 1948. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, in 1948, what else did it say, Alfredo? He returned from the army and he married his wife, right?
What?
Okay. What's our next date?
1962.
1962. Come on, Jesse. Okay. Yes?
Uh-oh.
Huh? Yeah, but we gotta get started already. You're taking too much time thinking about it. Cindy, if you're ready, put the next dates on there. The other dates that we have already. Yes, they're right. You have them already? What's gonna be our next date? 1962. Which way am I gonna go? Am I gonna go this way or backwards?
Backwards.
I'm gonna go backwards?
No, this in front.
This way, right?
Picture.
To 1962. Yes, Alfredo? Okay, well you have to ask your partner next to you. 1962. What happened in 1962?
He started
He started.
U.S. Navy.
No.
U.S. Navy.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to get it from your partner, okay? He started UFW. Yes. Huh? We're gonna have more information, so you're gonna have to fit it in somehow, okay?
What is the USW?
United Farm Workers. That was the name of his union. You know how the teachers had their union? Huh? How are we doing, David? What's our next date?
1960.
Yes. He married and returned from the army in 1948. Okay. Are we writing it, Natalie? What happened next? What's our next date?
1993.
1993, right? You have all the information in front of you, and if you're not catching up, you have all the information in your reading, right? What's our next date?
1993.
What happened in 93?
He passed away.
He passed away.
Yeah.
1993, he passed away. Huh? So you go ahead, yeah. You have all the information. No, you're not done. We're trying to get to the other one. You have the information in front of you, Noel. And you have Cindy as well to help you. Yes, David? You're behind? Well, that's why we have all the information inside of our reading, right? Right now I'm going to give you time to catch up. I have another date. Are you ready for the other date that we didn't find in there? We're gonna move forward, and it's in 2014. Everybody write that? Yes? Yes. Okay, 2014, and what happened in 2014 is that President Barack Obama made his birthday a holiday. So his birthday became a holiday. You're right. Yeah. That's why we have Monday off. Thanks to Barack Obama and Cesar Chavez. So birthday became holiday in 2014. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have final minutes. Yeah. So we thought now. Huh? 1958? Okay. We don't have a date for 1958, do we? 1948? Yes, it is like that. So what about our last date, 2019, right? We celebrated and we put the date. You did put it on there? Yes, sir. Sure. Yes, sir. Yeah, 1993. 1993 is no wait 2014. In 1993 he passed away. So you're done? Okay. Up ahead. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, boys and girls. Did we get to finish our assignment? No, right? No, we didn't, because remember I said that we were gonna look at other texts to get more dates, right?
We can try some tomorrow morning
Yeah.
a little bit.
We could try tomorrow to finish the assignment, if not Tuesday. So we have to keep all this paper together, okay? So, where are we gonna put it away in? You can fold it, yeah, you can fold it. You can fold it like this, but keep all your paperwork together. I mean, like, you should be taking care of your things. These are your responsibilities as students. Who has it already? Thumbs up? Alright, I appreciate how all of table 4 and 5. I don't know, I don't think you I don't know if it was ready. No? You don't have a timeline? I think you got one before we went to RSV. Maricel, did you get one? No? Hold on. Okay, boys and girls, like yesterday, I'm gonna be filming the second part of this because we didn't get to finish our assignment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I know a lot of you were out, like Maricel and David, and I would appreciate that their elbow partners can help them catch up, okay, Tuna? Okay, so yesterday, what did we use to get dates for our timeline? Cindy?
We used
An article?
yeah.
The passage, right? And a lot of you said that you didn't get to copy everything that I wrote, right? We started with a couple of dates, Cesar Chavez passing away, we joined the Navy in 1946. But remember, where did we get all this information from? From our article, right? So, if you didn't get to copy it, where can you find it?
In the article.
In the article, right? Okay, now I'm gonna have another source where we're gonna get information from. Have you ever taken, by a show of hands, have you ever taken notes from watching a video?
No.
No? Alright, we're gonna attempt that.
Yes, you did earlier in the year.
Okay, so we're gonna watch another video of Cesar Chavez. And this video, but with this video, we're gonna take notes. So, remember I gave you some line paper? On that line paper, you're gonna take notes about the dates you hear, okay? I'll pause it for you. We'll take it one step at a time. Show a thumbs up when you're ready.
What time are you gonna rest?
Okay, let's just wait for Alfredo to sit down. You ready? Okay. Is that okay, Mr. Moses? Okay, so everybody have their line paper in front of them? Something to take notes with? Okay, what are we listening for? Dates, right? Important dates.
About Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez, a migrant farm worker who became an organizer. He fought for farm workers' rights and believed that if everyone worked together, they could be treated more fairly. Let's talk about the history of this American hero. Cesar Chavez was born in 1927 in the United States. His parents had Mexican heritage. Cesar Chavez was a Mexican American. When he was 10, his family moved to California. They worked as migrant farm workers.
Okay, what was the first date that we got in there? 1927, did we all write that? We already had it in our other article, right? And what happened on that date, Giovanni? Want me to come back to you? Susana? He was born. And then now it says 10 years after his family moved to California, they worked as migrants. So he moved to California 10 years after. So when he was 10, so in 1927 he was born. If you add 10, what year will we have?
37.
So that's another date you can write. 1937, his family moved to California. That's an important event because a lot of the things he did that we remember him for, all the organizing happened here in California. So in 1937, he moved to California. Do we have that date, Arturo?
Yes.
Okay. We ready to continue?
Yes.
Okay. Let me know when you hear a date. Raise your hand so I can stop the video and we can take notes of it.
Even though he was just a boy, Cesar Chavez had to work in the fields with them as well. Migrant workers were workers that had to move from place to place. Life was very hard. Migrant workers were not treated fairly. When he was older, Cesar Chavez wanted to help and bring change. He started to bring people together. He knew that if they worked together, they could fight for their rights and get treated more fairly. He began giving speeches and even led marches and protests. In 1962, Cesar Chavez started a group later called United Farm Workers to
I should have saw everyone's hands up. I guess at least they're paying attention. Let's get some tickets to them. Let's see. I saw Noel, Susana, and Natalie real quick. And what's the date that we have here?
1962.
1962. And what happened in 1962?
He started a group called United Farm Workers.
Okay. We already had that in our notes, right?
Yeah.
That in 1962, he started the UFW. That for the students who said that I was going too fast yesterday, this is the second time we get this information, right? So 1962, we have 1962, he started the UFW. So if you don't have that in your timeline, and that was his union, right? That was what his union was called, the United Farm Workers. Are we ready? Do we all have that down? Okay.
for better pay and treatment, and it's still around today. In 1965, they led a successful strike against grape growers in Delano, California.
All right, so let's write that down. I like how table one, everyone in table one had their hand up. Saw that. So in 1965, that's another date that we should mark down. In 1965, he led a successful strike. Remember in Delano? So that's a little bit north of California. Did anybody ever go to Bakersfield, Visalia, Fresno? No one's ever gone up that way? You know how there's a lot of farms over there? When you drive, once you pass Los Angeles and Santa Clarita, you hit all the farms. Delano. Hollywood is still in the city. That's past the city. We all have this down?
Yes.
1965, led, you can write, led a successful California. If you want to paraphrase, but if you want to write the whole thing, I encourage it. You ready, Natalie? You good? Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Strike is when workers refuse to work until something changes. On a side note, it took 5 years and they never gave up because Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers wanted to fight for better treatment and they were not willing to give up.
So he said 5 years. They were striking for 5 years. So, what year did they strike? If in 1965 they started their strike, they strike for 5 years. When did the strike end? So 65 plus 5. Not 1975. That's 10 years. Let's try that again. 1965 plus 5.
1970.
1970, right? So he strike all the way until 1970. So we can take that note down, right? You can write 1965 through 70. They strike, right? Well, we're having some technical difficulties. So we had a problem with that, so we're gonna stop our video now. Okay, did we all get those notes?
Yes.
Alright, so did you all like taking notes from a video? Yeah? No? Yes, no? Okay. Okay, can somebody provide me with one of those new dates, one that we didn't have up here? Steven? What happened in 1937? He wouldn't go to America. He was already in America. Where did he go? Can you put that in our timeline? Come up here. Where would he write 1937? While he does that, can I have my paper monitors come up? Can you pass one out to 1937? Is that right? Is he putting it in the right place?
Yes.
Yeah. He moved to California, right? Just one person, yeah.
This is from the
California. All right. Who's ready?
No,
Not yet.
I didn't hear it.
You didn't get one yet?
No, I didn't hear it before.
I'm sorry. We all ready? Table 4 and 5. What was your question, Cindy? I'm sorry.
You said that you guys could come up and we had to write.
Oh, he put it in there. We took that note, right? That in 1937 he moved to California, right? We put that in between 1927 because it came after, and in between 1948 because it came before, right? Okay. Yes. Okay, give me a second, okay? Do we remember this article from the beginning of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same thing as this one.
Yeah, it's the same one. I printed it for you. So what I'm gonna have you do is look for dates and highlight it. And also, are we ready? This is a table challenge. Let's see. Since today is Friday and we tally up the points, this team is ahead by 4 points. So let's see. This team will take 5. Okay, we're gonna make this word challenge at the table. We have these two resources, right?
Yes.
We have our passage and we have our textbook, right? Do we remember the story with Luis Delgado? The one about Cesar Chavez? On page, let's all open our books to page to page 364. I don't want to get anybody a head start. Everybody over your page, your book. When you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Page 364. 364. Alright. Almost ready right here. Alright, table 2, right? Table 2, table 4. Thank you for being so prompt. Okay, so this is the challenge. We're gonna use these two resources, our history book and our passage, okay? And your challenge is to find all the important dates from here, from both. This one you can highlight, and the book you can't. But I want you to use both resources and find the important dates and make a complete timeline with as many dates as you find, okay? And I want everybody in the table to have their timeline completed. I understand that David and Marifer is going to be taking more time, right? Because they came late. And Derek's going to do it, but we're going to work as a group this time. So I'm going to give them a little bit of extra time. But do we all understand the challenge? Let's see, can somebody repeat to me the instructions? David? Giovanni? This is David. Yes, David? Can you repeat to me the instructions? Find the Alfredo. Are we ready? Okay, we're gonna find the dates. Giovanni, we're gonna find the dates in here and find the dates where? I want to hear Giovanni. I'm asking Giovanni. In our history book, right? And what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna put him?
In your timeline.
In your timeline. But the whole table has to complete their timeline, okay? Oh, do we all understand? Susana? Yeah, you highlight the dates on this, but on your book, you just take a note, okay? Because you can't highlight in your book. Are we ready? Alright, let's start. I'll give you 10 minutes to complete that. So, the best thing to do is to work as groups and help each other out, right? I want to see some collaborative work. Like the colors? Should write in pencil though, because oh, this is okay because it's the beginning date. No, we're not gonna go farther back than that. If you're writing in marker and highlighter, you're gonna have to get space. Maybe we're gonna put some more dates right in here. So be careful. Good. Okay, we should be working as groups. You never started? Okay. Okay, well then start with some of the dates that you find here. 1927, you have that one already, right? He was born. Oh no, you don't have the year, you just wrote born. 1927. You want to write the year. I'll pass around and help you, David and Marifer, okay? Okay, David, I need you to start. Huh? There's only one? Okay. There's a lot in here though. There's a lot in the history book. So if you found this one, do you have this one already? Everybody does? Okay. So then let's find the ones in here. I mean, yeah, you can take the notes, yeah. But the end, where I want you to put it at the end is in your timeline. But you already have that date, right? We should have that date. Let's see. 1969. Well, you don't have it. Wait. 1937? How come 1937 is over here? It should be all the way back here. Yeah. So let's see this one. You have a lot of dates, though. It's okay. We're gonna fix it, okay? Okay, but you don't have 1969 on here. 1962, so it should be here. 1969. So you can put the dot here and write the information on top. Strike ended in Delano. ¿Estás bien adelantada? ¿Estás viendo los días, mis chicos? You have to spread it out a bit. Yeah. Do you have that one in your timeline? Okay, write it in. So there's a lot of dates in this book. Yeah, look for dates.
18.
No. But you can, but we don't know which year. We need exact years, okay? Okay. Natalie, David, and Marita, come here. There were two things, and right over them. We started this one yesterday. We started this one yesterday. I want you to copy these dates and start it. Okay? And then when you're ready, go back to your table. The rest of the dates, you're going to find them in our books, okay? So that's when we start, okay? 1927, 1926, 1948, how we're going up to 1962. Just closer to 2014, 2019 today. Okay? But you got to leave the space, David. We're going to put more dates, right? How are we doing, Alfredo? We're working as a group?
1948.
Jesse? Okay, copy it. Jesse, you should at least have these dates. If you don't know where to start, you should at least have these dates from yesterday. Jesse, where's your timeline? Why is it not? You're taking notes? You need to put them on the timeline, okay? Oh, thank you. Well, that's what we should have done in a pencil. That's why I gave that instruction. What are you wrong about? Oh, yeah. This one's in pencil. This one you can erase it. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yes, you can in the back, okay? But in pencil. Pencil. Give me a second. What don't you understand?
This is a cup?
Hold on.
That's weird. All of them start with 19 and this one starts with 18.
Oh, well, this one we're not going to use it, right? This one's talking about his family. This one's talking about his family. He had come from Mexico, like his family in the past. We're not going to use that date, okay?
Uh-oh, this is not going to fit me either. Okay, let's see.
We're not going to use the 1888 date because that's too far in the past. That's when his family came from Mexico, okay?
I know because I think
I'm going to put it here while you guys work, okay? Yes. You're done? You're done copying the dates? Okay, go work with your team to get the other dates.
No, we're already.
You're done? All the book? Okay. Everyone's done? Okay, there's more in here. If you're done, Alfredo, you need to help out the rest of your group, okay?
We're already good.
You're done as well? Okay, you want to share it in front of the class? Anyone first can share? Derek, can you share for your group? Does everyone have the same date? Okay, well let's work together, okay? Let's finish it. Okay, well let's do it now. Let's work together, let's finish it. You guys are done already? How are we doing? Sorry. You're done? Who wants to come up here to share it? Okay, boys and girls. While you're still working, one table, two things are done. We're gonna check that table. We're gonna see if we have the same dates. If you find any other dates, you can challenge it and be like, we have a different date that you didn't get.
Okay.
There's
Alright.
other game, but it's going back a little bit more backwards. Who's that?
They were filming
Are we done copying those dates? Shouldn't be so hard to copy them. Oh no, not you. Okay. Let's see. Boys and girls. Boys and girls, we have one group that says they're done. Let's see. Susana, can you put yours up here? Or Genesis? One or the other. I need one. Let me check yours. Don't be scared. Alright. Okay. Are we ready? Let's give them our attention. Alright. Go ahead, Susana. Start with this one. What happened in 1927? He was born. Do we all have that?
Yeah.
Is the date right on that one?
Yeah.
Where's our date for this one? Father lost his.
What? Oh, his father-in-law.
His
His father-in-law.
lost his.
That.
He lost his land in what year?
19. Bruh, you have it. 1937.
In 1937.
In 1942. His father.
In 19. Can you turn around and say it? In 1942, what happened?
His father died in a car crash.
His father died in a car crash. Did we find that information?
He did not. He did not. He just said that.
He got in a car crash, but it was a year, right?
He got hurt.
He got hurt in a car crash. Okay. Okay. In 1946, she wrote that he wrote. No, it's okay if it's wrong. It said in 1946 he returned from army. No? What year did he return from the army?
1948.
1948, right? Okay. It's okay, it's just simple things. And then let's look at the rest of your timeline. There was two pieces of information, right? What else happened in 1948? He married his wife, right? So that's there. And then she jumps all the way to 1962. Is there anything that happened before 1962? Steven? Before it, yeah. Something that she didn't write. So, when did he start the UFW? Okay. Is that true? He joined and started the UFW?
Yes.
I see a friend else saying no. Yeah, so that's right. He started the UFW. She wrote join, but he actually started it, right? She has that. What's the next date that somebody has after 1962? What do you have, David? 1969? Well, she got something in 1965 that we got from the video. I remember that. The strike against grapes. No, not against grapes. And Delano, but against the